Hey, Virgo, intuitive soul coach here with your November 2024 career and money reading. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Virgo, I'm getting here that you are stepping into a pocket of growth. That's interesting. Stepping into a pocket of growth. It may require your participation in your work, of course. It will require your participation. And you have labor at the bottom of the deck. So I have a feeling we may see some eights in your reading today. Maybe the Strength card, Eight of Pentacles. I'm even getting the Eight of Wands because there could be some news, communication, travel involved. And I see the travel with the anchor here. But bottom of the deck, you have the Laborer. And this can be putting your nose to the grindstone. Maybe physically you are building something here with your hands. For others of you, you could be creating more space, building up your ideas, and launching some products, some services. It says here, some of you may even be running, managing, organizing, or working for a construction business, maybe maintenance, painting, or any kind of labor work. Now, because this is a money reading as well, some of you are building a home, or you're adding on space to a home, or maybe you're saving up for a home here. I'm also getting do-it-yourself projects. Some of you may be rolling up your sleeves this month. It says, don't be afraid of hard work. What lasts won't come easy. And it says here, your hard work will be rewarded. Keep at it. So I feel like you are, again, I keep getting a pocket of growth, putting your nose to the grindstone. You may have a really brilliant idea. King of Wands is full of brilliant ideas, and that's what you're starting off in here. So I am getting for you, Virgo, this may even be inspirational to you. This could be entrepreneurship. This is not just inspirational to you, but it's also inspirational to others. You may be doing more than one thing, maybe bringing in multiple streams of income. That may be why it feels like a lot of 8 energy. We are also in an 8 year, 2024. Some of you may be an 8 life path as well. Okay, we have the King of Swords showing up here. So some of you are working with multiple energies that are wanting to take action. Okay, wanting to take action here. Look at that. We have the 8 of Cups. So you could even be cutting ties from a company or an individual or a partnership or even a client that feels like it could be blocking your growth. Okay, if something here is blocking your growth, you're cutting it off because, again, you're not letting distractions get in the way of your goals. And I see you working really hard at them. You may even be going back to school. You have the student card here. You could be putting in the effort and learning new skills in order for you to take your career in a new direction. Yeah, there it is. Career, new direction. You have the Fool. Something is breaking down for you in a very powerful way. I see the Tower showing up, and a lot of signs have been getting the Tower. And I feel like this Libran energy moving into Scorpio energy, even though the majority of November is Scorpio and Sagittarius, I feel like a lot of this is beginning in Libra season. Now, these readings do come out a bit early, and some of you may notice that you're already seeing the restructuring, the rebuilding, some destruction of old beliefs within you. You're seeing things from a new point of view. You're seeing things from a different perspective than maybe you did going into it. And I feel like this is causing you to really reevaluate, and it's causing you to go through that growth pocket. And that's not a bad thing. That's part of what we're here for. Look at Page of Pentacles. So someone is possibly considering going back and learning a new skill, taking some classes, becoming a student, becoming the teacher, as we oscillate between all of them. So your final outcome is really taking a look at what's working for you, what's not, where do you see yourself down the road? Are you happy? You're asking yourself the bigger questions, and I feel like there's a complete overhaul happening here for the better, because bottom of the deck is the Ace of Cups. Now, you may not see this quite yet, but it's what you are working towards. And I actually do see this because in your energy, you're ready for a brand new beginning. You've cut some sort of ties, or perhaps there has been some initiation towards this new path for you. And I feel like you want something that really does fulfill you. Not surprising to see the heart card showing up as one of your key themes, because this is about maybe joint finances. Some of you are really being supported at this time to activate your heart chakra and do something that fulfills you emotionally and financially here. You may even be a counselor, a guide, or you're moving into having a position that you really love, that you feel like you're being of service in the world. And you're also listening to your intuition. Now, aces are gifts. Aces are potential. We have to willingly unwrap that gift. And sometimes we can deny it, right? Sometimes we can reject it. But I feel here for you, you want this. You want this more than anything. I see this. And that's why there is a restructuring taking place here for you, Virgo. You may even have some Leo in your chart. I'm getting a little bit of Leo vibes here with that 8 that I was picking up on. Now, we're not seeing the 8 of Pentacles, but we do see the 8 of Cups. And I feel like you are cutting ties with distractions or whatever has held you back. And that's why you have the Laborer card coming in here. There's a pocket of growth, and it may feel quite intense. It may feel chaotic at times because you have a lot going on. You have a lot of ideas, and you're going to have to grab on to a few opportunities coming in here for you. But trust that your hard work is going to be rewarded. What you are learning now could put you in a very favorable position down the road. Okay, it says work with a mentor to learn new skills or teach you how to implement your plan. Some of you are working with a coach. Maybe you're working with a business coach or a counselor, a therapist, someone to help you work through some fears, okay? Work through some distractions. You could also be learning a new skill that could help you in a profound way. It says here, you could be in school to pursue higher education or work for a school district. Teach yourself to succeed with money or get a financial advisor to teach you. Yeah, I do feel like the money, you're going to start to see money coming in. If money has felt a little bit stagnant, because I'm not getting a lot of pentacles here, but your outcome energy is a pentacle, and so is your hopes and fears. I feel like a lot of you have been really reevaluating, and instead of it just being about the financial piece of it, which Virgo, you are an earth sign, and earth element is all about the financial, the material. It's about what we have, but you're also really wanting to blend that spiritual piece in it and that intuitive fulfillment. And I feel like if it's been one-sided, you're rebalancing here the emotional, intuitive, and financial and physical. Now we have the anchor. So I feel for some of you, there has been stability, or there has been perhaps a lot of movement. Some of you, this labor could be that you've completed or wrapped up a cycle that you've really worked hard on, and now you're able to take what you've learned and put it out into the world. Okay, depending on where you're at on this spectrum here. If you're just starting to learn a new skill, awesome, you're on the right path. And for others of you, if you have been going through this growth pocket and there is some sort of milestone here, I feel like you're ready to launch something out into the world. Launch yourself out, your skills, put yourself out there, ask for that raise. There's a new beginning here. And as I was shuffling, I did see the World card for you. So I feel with your surrounding cards, even though we see the Tower coming in, this could be global. This could be economically, politically, worldwide. but I feel like it enhances your skills because the world needs what you have to offer. So even though there may be some sort of chaos and destruction going on around you, I actually feel like that is a catalyst for you to say, okay, I need to step up into this. I need to learn this because the world's going to need it. I'm going to need it. And if you don't already, right? That's why you have the student here. Now, some of you, if you have been stuck or if there has been financial or money blocks, I see you cutting ties from that and turning a new leaf, turning a new corner, because your challenge for the month of November is the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is a turning point. For those of you that felt stagnant or impatient or a little bit frustrated or bored because you've been wanting to build, wanting to create, wanting to feel successful. I mean, your King of Wands energy is showing up. So get ready, buckle up. And I feel like there's some sort of travel. There will be some sort of movement that shifts everything. That's why the Tower comes in here. And it may shake things up for you. It's going to get you unstuck. So if you've been feeling stuck, if there's been blockages and you've been praying, you've been asking the universe, you've been, wanting a miracle to happen here for you, you've been taking action and initiating change by being the change that you wish to see, the universe hears you, and the universe is bringing in this Tower. And this is something quite good for you. It's beneficial because I feel like that again is going to be part of what sparks this King of Wands energy within you. And it's going to have you learning some new things. Like I said, that pocket of growth is significant here for you. Embrace it. You could also be helping others. You may find that your gift is being of service, helping others in a beautiful way. I mean, this could be healing. This could be building things for them. It could be servicing them, communicating with them. I feel like your gifts are enhanced at this time. And be mindful of your spending. Okay, don't overdo it here. But I see that it's important for you to invest in something that will contribute to your growth. So if you've been wavering and going between, should I take this class, or should I invest in this, certification, or should I take a little bit of time to go over here and write, like a writer's retreat? Some of you, I'm getting something with writing or spiritual work. I feel like the answer is yes, invest in that, because that will also help you shake up some of those blocks that you may have. So even if something feels a little bit expensive, I do get that that's going to pay off for you. Okay. You're supported. Yeah, because you have the Heart card here. And remember, bottom of the deck is the Ace of Cups. So you are supported in this endeavor, but you have to unwrap the gift that's being presented to you. Now you have retail here. If you have an idea in mind, this is giving you the green light that there is a need for it. Yeah, that's what we were just talking about here. So maybe it's a service that you provide. Maybe it's a goods that you provide. Maybe you're creating or making something with your hands, with the laborer. Now, for others of you, maybe you're wanting to open up a storefront, or perhaps you work for a company and you see a merger. And that was a big theme at the beginning when I did Aries. Aries was the first sign that I did. And I had blended 2 money oracle decks together. And there was a message, I feel universally, around merging, us seeing huge mergers taking place on a global level in the month of November. And I feel like some of you also may be seeing this happening, and you may be cutting ties. Okay. You may be saying, I don't really want to work for this company. It's not what I stand for. You may be going off building your own thing. Some of you, if you are part of maybe a smaller organization, you may be bought out by a bigger company. I'm also seeing here, for those of you who have your money placed in a financial institution or establishment, you could see changes on that front as well. And some of you are really taking your skills and you're launching them out into the world. I do see that here. It says save time and energy and add passive income, taking your business online. Yeah, online technology, globally, internationally for some of you. And I'm also getting closer to March 2025 when we really step into that age of Aquarius. I feel that even February, March, April, I feel like that may be when you really take off. Okay, that may be when you really start to see financial abundance. Now, yes, we're doing a November reading, but all of this is helping you plan, prepare, and activate. Plan, prepare, and activate. And I feel like you're in one of those pockets of growth that comes right before the activation piece where you do see the abundance from it. So maybe you already know that there's a trip planned or there is something taking shape at the first quarter of 2025. And I feel like this is big for you because it says here, your final card is the eggs. This is starting over, saving up resources. Nest egg. Now, some of you, you could be starting over in a sense of a new role, a new responsibility, a new skill. This could be within a new company, within a new practice. And for others of you, it's also about bringing new people on board. You could be training others to help in your company or in your business. So don't get too worried, because I feel like the Fool, you're wanting this golden opportunity, right? You're wanting to be able to spread your eggs out, not just have all your eggs in one basket. And that may be also why I see multiple streams of income coming in here for you, or you finding ways to maybe put yourself out there on multiple platforms, or maybe you're applying for a position and it's important for you to expand your compass or your radius is what I'm picking up on here. You may even be in healthcare, Virgo. You may be in insurance. For some of you, I am getting accounting or finances. You may be looking at numbers, crunching numbers, doing something with numbers that brings you some new opportunities. Okay, because I definitely see with the Fool and with your thinking and with this Tower, you're restructuring. The universe is helping you out at this time. The universe is always helping us out, but it's your actions, right? As you take one step toward the gods, they take 10 steps towards you. And some of you are considering a career in retail, e-commerce, or again, in goods and services. So we said that earlier. Now, bottom of the deck, that was, let's see here. What was at the bottom of the deck? Did we pull yet? You have the Transporter and the Work Smarter. The reason why you're putting in all this work now, or that you have been putting in the work, obviously is the same, mostly the same for all of us, because we don't want to be in this hustle work mentality our entire lives. We don't want to feel like we have to work until we're 89, 95 years old, right? We want to enjoy what we're doing, and we want to enjoy life, and we want to be able to have flexibility and freedom and financial independence. And it says here, perhaps it's time to clean house, right? Personally and professionally. Personally and professionally, Virgo, because some of you, it means that you're starting with a clean palette. That's why the Tower comes in, or it is coming in for you in the near future, to give you that clean palette. So try not to hang on to old beliefs. You see that she's hanging on to this Tower, and the universe has brought that lightning bolt in to break it down, because that's what she's been wanting all along. But at the same time, she's feeling a bit conflicted, because it's like she wants it, but yet at the same time, her eyes feel like they're deceiving her in a sense. Her head, her heart are being pulled in two different directions. Like, I want this, but I'm afraid. And we can be in that state. We fear often change. And I feel like there is a big message here about stepping into this new energy that really does allow you the freedom, the flexibility that you truly desire, but it's going to require, again, your participation, your hard work, your dedication, this growth bubble or growth spurt that you're in. And you know that it doesn't last forever. Remember when you're 8 years old and you have that huge growth spurt and you go back to school and you're like 10 feet tall? It's something here that feels maybe a little uncomfortable, but you're going to get you're going to get to this point on the other side and you're going to have to go shopping for new clothes, right? New shoes, because you don't fit into the old you. And that's what I see here, Virgo, is you're not fitting into that old version of you. You went through a growth spurt over the summer. And for some of you, are you making it harder than it has to be? Are we making it harder because we're hanging on to this tower that is meant to crumble? The solutions sometimes are simple. Stick to basic needs when it comes to spending. Put some money aside. And I feel like that's where you've been or what you're trying to do. And for some of you, things are going to really move rather quickly. Once you release, once you surrender, once you allow this tower to fully crumble, then it allows the air to clear. Because right now there's a lot of smoke. There's a lot of crumbling of trying to hold something together, and we can't always see clearly what's on the other side until we let it crash. Let it crash and burn, Virgo. Let the beliefs crash and burn. Let the destruction take place, because I feel like that is where it's at. That is going to bring you to this Einstein energy of some brilliant new ideas, and to be able to work smarter, not harder. And that's why you have the King of Wands showing up as your overall energy. The King of Wands is an influencer. He is very influential, he or she. It's actually the feminine version in this deck. The creator has added a feminine version to all of the kings, and including the emperor, which is neat because we do have that masculine and feminine within ourselves. So for some of you, this is balancing those aspects, the masculine of action and the feminine of receiving, right? The being able to give the gift, but yet open it at the same time. And I feel like there is a balance taking place. And when this King of Wands shows up, you're marching to the beat of your own drum. This is someone who is very active, very passionate, very goal-oriented and driven. If you're not an entrepreneur yet, I feel like you have the ability to be so. If you're not a leader in some way, or if you're not being heard. Now, being a leader or being on top or being in a position of authority doesn't mean that you have to be the head of a company or run a huge management, right? Or being a manager. But it is about people listening to you, right? You could be a stalker at a grocery store and you have this ability to really inspire others, and you may notice that they come up to you often, and instead of just asking you where the ketchup is, maybe they start to talk to you about their life story, right? And I feel like some of you gravitate, people gravitate towards you. So trust in your magic, trust in your abilities. And some of you, your skills, your communication skills or your skills of being of service are activated tenfold at this time. And that's why you're going through a little bit of this growth spurt, is for you to say, okay, I'm here. I'm showing up. I was born for this. This is what I was meant to do. And I feel for a lot of you, this is massive success. It is resourcefulness, assertiveness, and being able to express your ideas and incorporate them into your career. I love this King of Wands showing up. The King of Wands is confident, right? But he has gone through a lot. He's gone through a lot of backlash. He's gone through a lot of struggles, right? He's gone through a lot of dry periods, as well as he's been burned in the past. And I feel like every step that you've taken to get to where you are now has been for something. So for some of you, if you've thought, well, that was for nothing, or I didn't learn anything there, or that was a dud, I want you to remember that it all was worth something, because it's going to be useful with where you're going in the future. Now, the obstacle, the challenge, or the opportunity, if you will, is the Four of Cups. Now, Four of Cups says that there's been a little bit of emotional stagnancy. You haven't been feeling this King of Wands energy, or you have little bursts of it, right? At times you're feeling very inspired and you're like, yeah, I'm going to go save the world. And then the next day you're like, I'm just going to chill and I'm not going to make any movement. And so there's a little bit of that consistency for some of you, motivation for others of you. Four of Cups can be at times feeling the need to reach out, but not knowing who to reach out to. And that may be why you have the student teacher energy coming in, or a coach or a mentor, or Spirit was saying, don't be afraid to invest in yourself, self-investment. And I do see here with this Four of Cups, there's a turning point. Instead of focusing on the past or focusing on what's not working, I feel like the Tower is coming in saying, we got to get you up out of this hump. We got to get you up out of a situation that feels boring or feels stagnant or just feels like there's been a bit of a pause. And even during that pause, there has been growth. And yes, here's your burst of growth here, but you're protected. And you see that the universe is holding up here, or this beautiful bird is holding up an umbrella, so you are protected. But sometimes the Four of Cups gets lost in their own thoughts, their own limiting beliefs, their own emotions or feelings, that they forget that those feelings are like visitors, that lack of energy is not going to stay forever. And I feel like this is the turning point. This is where you say, wow, I do have a burst of energy. I do have an idea. Instead of just letting that idea go in one ear out the other, you're going to take it and run with it. That's what I see you doing. You're going to take it and run with it. Page of Wands showing up in your foundation. Now, Page of Wands is showing up here in reverse. And I do feel for some of you, this is about boredom, maybe prioritizing, needing to focus, and chasing some curiosities. And for some of you, you were curious, exactly what I was just saying. It's like you were curious about something, but then you left it at that. You left it at the door. You're like, I'm curious on Monday, but Tuesday, I'm not feeling it anymore. And sometimes that need to ground those dreams or ground those beliefs a little bit more can help you out. And perhaps the big push that is coming in here for you is a destroying of those old patterns that tell you, well, maybe I am curious about this. She has the lens there is being held up for her to see something that maybe she had little bits and flashes and bits and pieces of it in the past, but now it's showing up saying, this is your intuition. Your intuition has been guiding you all along, Virgo. And there's something in the past that you may be remembering within you. And instead of sitting in it and saying, is this, I feel uncomfortable. There's a little bits and pieces of my intuition shining through at times, but I don't really do anything with it. And I'm feeling a little bit bored. I'm feeling stagnant. Boom. It comes in here and hits you like wildfire. And you're like, wait a second, that thing that I was curious about really has the ability to grow. And here you are in the King of Swords. This is all about beliefs. It's about intellectualization, right? It is the King of Swords. He's very intelligent. He's very logical. He is very experienced, but sometimes he can become a little bit headstrong. And again, feminine version here of this king. So beautiful. We may be talking to a lot of, maybe a lot of females who are really embracing their masculine. We may be talking to some males out there that are embracing their feminine. Okay. And the King of Swords energy here, he's great to have on your side when you need to go by the book, or you don't have, I don't want to say the passion piece, but when you don't need a lot of the emotions connected to it, he's great to have. He's logical. He's a quick thinker, quick-witted, great on his, toes. He's not really interested in fantasy, but I see that you need a little bit less of this King of Swords and more of the King of Wands. It's time to use your imagination now, Virgo. It's time to dream a little bit more. It's time for you to open up to the opportunities that are presenting themselves to you, that they have been in the past, but just through little flickers, little nudges of intuition. And maybe the timing wasn't right. Maybe it was something you felt stuck in. Maybe there was a limiting belief, because sometimes the King of Swords, he can be skeptic, right? He can be skeptic of his own beliefs or ideas at times, where he may have a whimsical or imaginative idea comes up, and then he rationalizes it and he says, that's not a good idea, or that's not aligned to this hard structure that I've built for myself. Sometimes this King of Swords, especially if he's in a lower vibration, he can let those limiting beliefs really get the best of him and come across as a little boring at times, or a little bit cold, or even detached. And so some of you, this could be a bit of your energy, or it could have been someone you were dealing with, and you're ready to cut this part of yourself off that said, I'm not going to believe, I'm not going to be a dreamer, I'm not going to use my imagination, which also is connected directly to the intuition piece. And you're going to cut a part out that, or not just cut it out. Well, this can be cutting ties. So some of you, if this is a person, a workplace, a situation, there definitely could be a cutting out, a moving on from this King of Swords. Some of you could have been dealing with someone who lacked empathy, lacked emotion. They were very hard, very headstrong. But if this is a part of you, I feel like instead of focusing so much in the King of Swords energy, you're focusing more on the King of Wands, inspiration and passion and creativity. But the Eight of Cups says in order to do that, you have to leave behind something that this King of Swords represents for you. A people, place, thing, thought, belief. Okay? The swords is the element of air. It is also obstacles. It's the ego. So maybe for some of you, we may have to cut a part of maybe pride away, or maybe the ego can be, parts of the insecurities, or the not feeling good enough, or the fight or flight, whatever it may be for you. I feel like you are being guided to move forward, show up shaking, and push through the fears. Because what we have is the Tower showing up here. The Tower is the card of freedom. The Tower is sometimes a scary energy that people see the Tower and they're like, oh no, there's a sudden change. This is going to be awful, right? And when we succumb to that fear, it blocks intuition and creativity. And I actually feel, because you're showing up here as the King of Wands, this could be a tower that you have created. This could be a self-induced tower for the better. This is you destroying old structures, because I see you walking away. And so this tower is something that you have manifested, but it is for the better. Yeah, it's for the better. Why? Because you have growth. You have growth here. And if you have wanted to connect more with others or with yourself, if you wanted to have something deeper, more meaningful, there's a new path. You see that this ladybug, there's a new path that she's walking towards. And yes, it does look a little bit dark. She may be uncertain about what this path looks like, but she's going to go through it. She's going to go through it, and she's going to take one step, one day at a time. And I feel like you will be transformed for the better. You're never ever going to go back to that old you, right? You're never going to put on those old shoes or the old clothes that you were wearing before your growth spurt in 8th grade, right? Because it would be uncomfortable. You'd be wearing some floods. You'd have some pants up to your knees, and you're like, what the heck am I wearing? And I feel for some of you, you're moving on, because something here is more aligned. It feels better, and you will grow into a new comfortability with this. You will feel more familiarized with it once you continue to grow with it, right? Once you step into this a little bit more, and you're able to see things from a higher perspective, right? Like I said, you're going from, 8th grade growth spurt to going back to school, and you tower over everybody else. And some of you may be like 5'2", and you're like, Mel, that's never happened. But imagine going to school on some stilts, and you tower over everyone else, and you're able to see things from a different perspective. And you're ready. You're excited. This is your first day of 9th grade, basically, for some of you. And this is entering into a whole new dynamic, a whole new level, entering into, I don't want to say the high school era because we're not going back to high school here, but it almost feels like, freshman day. You feel like you've graduated in a level, right? Some of you, there's a new chapter, a new story of your life. And I feel like it is exciting for you. Yes, it's a little bit scary, but you're showing up and you're in this new energy. You got your new clothes, you got your new books, you got your new backpack, and you're ready to learn. You're ready to learn here. And the Fool says, I'm ready, but I'm not going to be naive. I am going to find that balance. But at the same time, you know that you're going to leave all that 8th grade stuff behind in order to be this big, bad high schooler, right? And I hope you're following me here. Symbolically, this is just the energy. Again, nobody's going back to freshman year. Some of you are like, Mel, I don't ever want to go back there. But there could be a little bit of symbology as well. Some of you could be removing some blocks that may have actually been part of your middle school, high school time, right? Perhaps these are blocks or conditioning that you've learned at that time. You may be revisiting, and maybe you're restructuring. And maybe that is the key that allows you to fully move forward and embrace changes, embrace new beginnings, because there's new beginnings left and right here, Virgo, in your energy. But I do see a little bit of competition, right? You're going to go to school, you're going to see the sophomores and the juniors and the seniors, and you're going to maybe be mingled in classes together, right? And it's going to bring about some insecurities. Some of you, it could bring about some triggers. For others of you, it could bring about, imposter syndrome, or what if I'm not good enough? What if they think something of me? What if my insecurity, right? You're sweating, you have your palms are sweating and your heart's beating. Yeah, I feel like there's going to be some moments here of a bit of anxiety, but ultimately I feel like you're going to blend in really well because this is where you belong. Remember what I said earlier? You were born for this. And I feel like a lot of you have some Leo in your chart, or you're on the Leo cusp, or you're dealing with the Leo. If so, check out that reading because I'm getting some similarities here. Now, Virgo, hopes and fears, Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is learning. And since we have so many school analogies here, he is wearing a graduation cap. And you're wondering, am I going to be able to graduate with the goals that I've set out for? Maybe your goals were to get A's, to get B's. Maybe it was just passing grades. Maybe it was valedictorian. Maybe you wanted to excel in sports, or whatever your craft is, right? Whatever your hobby is. Remember, coming into the reading, it was the 8 of Pentacles I really picked up on. You're mastering something here. Try not to let perfectionism get in the way. Try not to let your people pleasing get in the way, or thoughts of what other people think of you get in the way or distract you from your success. What is he holding on to? My favorite wish flowers, I call them, dandelions. You're spreading some seeds here, or you have spread some seeds. You've learned a lot. You've grown a lot. And when the Page of Swords shows up, you're ready for a new challenge. You have these ideas. You have curiosities from the past that may be showing up for you. And I feel like you are being guided to really reevaluate and say, what am I curious about? What do I want to learn now? And what do I need to do to take one step in that direction? And that's what your outcome is here, is the 7 of Pentacles. So we're getting closer to that 8. And maybe that 8 of Pentacles that I'm picking up on could be maybe a completion, a graduation of some sort by, again, next March, or maybe even December, because we have the ornaments card showing up at the bottom, and this is my Sagittarian or December energy. But with the 7 of Pentacles, you're one step closer. You're one step, and this is your hard work paying off. And that was one of your first messages that came through, Virgo. Your hard work paying off. It will pay off. 7 of Pentacles. Some of you may have a few years left before you want to retire. For others of you, you may be starting a business now, planting some seeds now that may take a couple of years, because the 7 of Pentacles isn't, it's not built in a day. Rome was not built in a day, as they say. And I feel like you've put time and investments into something, and that may be what's also holding you back. You may be saying, Mel, I put 36 years into this line of work. I can't change it now. But what if I told you that you could open your perspective up to still moving in another direction that fulfills you? And even if you're doing something where you're balancing out at this time, or perhaps you're reevaluating and maybe can take some of those skills and apply them elsewhere. So what if I told you that, yes, it's possible? Instead of you telling yourself that it's impossible, I want you to spell that word out. It spells itself, I'm possible. And I want you to believe that here. 7 of Pentacles. You're waiting for some things to grow. You're taking some deep inventory, reflection. You're coming close to harvest. Be patient, okay? There's going to be an assessment on your return. And if what you are doing now is not giving you back anything, that's why this Tower is coming in here. And I feel for a lot of you, this is going to change your life in a profound way. You may find that by March of 2025, you're in a completely different spot or position than you are today. Let's get a message from the wisdom of the Oracle. Someone may have a V or a Z in their name. I'm getting a very rare, like it's not your typical I's and O's or vowels or S's or T's. I feel like someone could have a V or a Z. You have higher power. Card 4. 4 is the Emperor energy, but it's also about divinity, right? It is the partnership that you have with spirit. It's conscious contact with a higher power, the presence of the divine, seeing source energy in all things. And when this comes to your abundance, it says sometimes your work just flows through you. Ideas come rushing in and inspiration bubbles up from a wellspring. Oh my gosh. Did we not say your entire reading, a bubble of growth? And now we have the higher power confirming that there is a bubbling happening here. Inspiration bubbles up from a wellspring that you didn't even know you could access. When you enter agreements, begin projects, and negotiate deals with spirit as your partner, you will always succeed. Let your higher power lead. The synchronicities and intuitive nudges you feel will help you see which way you are being pointed, giving you confidence to move forward in the right direction. Don't forget to give credit where it is due. You wouldn't be a success without Spirit's guidance, of course. Humility will serve you well when this symbol appears. Maybe this King of Swords in some way is being humbled. Maybe he's asked to put away his pride, or even the energy of skepticism, like not believing here, even though there is a belief within you that there's a higher power. Some of you may have really truly questioned, right? You may have truly questioned, and you're going to see evidence. You're going to see proof of it. That's why I see this Tower showing up so profound. Now is the time to examine what you are giving your energy to and your attention in the back of your mind. If you're obsessing about being right, hello, King of Swords, maybe this is someone around you that feels like they're always right. If you are obsessing about old resentments or failed expectations, or about money, or about any other people, places, or things, these will be the source from which you create. Do you want to create from maybe this place here, King of Swords? Failed expectations, old resentments. Like I said, sometimes he can be very headstrong and stay in some sort of purgatory or skepticism or disbelief, right? Which cuts off intuition. Take heart, for your higher power will never desert you and is always waiting for you to remember the sacred partnership that you share. Turn away from other sources of power that don't serve your highest good. There's no greater source here than Spirit. You can always surrender your troubles and trust that they will be taken care of. You're in good hands. Yeah, you are in good hands here. And I see that the universe is bringing you an offer, bringing you a gift. There is an offering taking place here for you. All right, let's get a few messages here from your spirit animals. And at this time, Virgo, if you can safely do so, please close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in from your solar plexus chakra, the belly area. Nice big inhale. Hold it as long as you can and release with a nice big sigh through your mouth. And with your eyes still closed, please tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you to imagine the first animal or animals that show up in your mind's eye. Now this could be an animal that flies high in the sky. It could be an animal that swims deep in the sea. Perhaps your animal is wild, magical, mystical, or even domesticated. This could be a pet that's crossed over the rainbow bridge, one that's recently visited your path in the great outdoors, or maybe even a pet or animal that you have at your home or by your side. There is no right or wrong answer, Virgo. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you're ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free monthly reading giveaway, all you need to do is drop your power animal or animals. You can have more than one. Drop them in the comment section below. I personally will enter you into that giveaway. So please make sure you've hit that subscribe and bell button so you don't miss that notification around the first of the month. All right, we have a few animals today. You do have the hummingbird, card 34. The hummingbird reminds you to be here now, be present. Even though there may be a lot going on around you, you can still be present through some of the energy shifts that are taking place, okay? So be present because that is the gift. Being present is the gift, and we see that showing up. We don't want to be so distracted that we pass or miss out on opportunities. Some of you may be 34 years old, 60 years old, 31, 52, or you're born on the 15th or the 22nd. We also have Swan Spirit. Time for a deep dive. Time for a deep dive into a new infrastructure, right? Into a new rebuilding of beliefs that really help you feel more confident and more out there. I'm getting out of the box here, out of a place where you may have felt held back, okay, or out of confinement in some way. So go deep. There's a deep dive with Swan Spirit. Dragonfly, truth transcends illusion. Truth transcends illusion. So this is about taking a look at your reality right where you're at now and saying, okay, the truth of the matter is A, B, and C. The illusion here is also, excuse me, A, B, and C. Excuse me. How can you stick to the truth with that King of Swords, but how can you take a step forward towards imagination, not illusion, not the fears, but imagination. And I feel like that's where you find that balance. That's where you're blending things. Also, your beliefs, whatever you believe in, that is going to be the truth for which you see things, your own perspective. And so trust that the truth of the matter is you are capable, you are worthy, you have the ability to manifest abundance here. And maybe the illusion for you is holding you back, saying, well, I don't have what it takes, or I'm fearful, or, whatever illusions are crossing your path at this time. There's a turning point. That's why you have the Four of Cups. You have the groundhog spirit, time to go. And we see that with the Eight of Cups here, time to go, groundhog spirit. It's also card 31, which is the last day, or it can be the last day of the month. So I feel for some of you, this year, the end of this year, you'll no longer be where you're at. You're moving on to a new position. It could be the last day of the month. There's a turning point for you here as well, but I definitely see you letting go of something that just doesn't align with you, because this is where you're heading. You have the scarab beetle here. Magic works through you. Yes, it does. You're feeling all your magic with that King of Wands. He is magical. He is intuitive. He is inspirational. He's creative, and you're feeling this magic. And lastly, you have the cow spirit, which I love the cow. It says, the miracles are endless. Yes, they are. The miracles are endless, and you are seeing many of them taking place at this time. Trust. And your final message from your guides is created with intention. You were created with intention, Virgo. What comes easy and simple to you is your superpower and divine gift. Don't underestimate how powerful your gift is to others. The world needs your offerings. Remember in the very beginning when this Ace of Cups showed up and I said you're given the gift, but you're also receiving it? The world needs your offerings. You're created with intention. And I also see that some of you are creating items with intention. And they're going to find the right hands. They're going to be put in the right place, the right energies. There's synchronicities happening. There's magic happening here. And I feel like there is a whole lot of abundance here and wealth that you are heading towards. That is what I have for you, Virgo. I hope that was helpful. If so, please hit that thumbs up button. It certainly helps get the divine channeled messages out there to those that need it most. Feel free to drop your power animals in the comment section below and hit that subscribe, like, and bell button if you haven't already. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Lots of love.